my fellow strict parent. Today, we're going to be talking about responsibility. Now, if there's one thing strict parents really want, it's responsible children. Children who take their schoolwork seriously. Children who don't need to be chased every 5 minutes to do what they're supposed to be doing. Children that we can depend on. We love that. And in many of our homes, responsibility started early when we were growing up. You had chores. You had expectations. And if you forgot any of them, oh, no, you didn't want to forget. For us, responsibility was something you learned. It's a good value. And responsible children tend to grow into adults who can manage life well. But here's one thing I've learned. Sometimes the way we teach or try to enforce responsibility can actually prevent our children from learning it. Responsibility grows through ownership. Many of us, however, we struggle with that part because we remind, we check, we correct, we supervise, and we sometimes miss the plot. Real responsibility grows when children feel the weight of their choices. Not crushing weight, but just enough for them to realize that, this one's on me. This one's on me. For example, if a child forgets their sport kit at home, the instinct of many of us is to rush to school to drop it off because we don't want anybody embarrassing us and we don't want people to think that we are irresponsible parents. And then when your kid gets home, that's when the big lecture or the shouting fest begins and the cycle continues. I'll tell you a story. My son, once he forgot his swim kit at home, and I think it was about 8, and his teacher called to ask if I could bring it for him, and I said, no, I won't. If he didn't take it, it means he doesn't need it. And I'm guessing she might have been shocked thinking, but he's just 8. But I don't care. My son knew to always get his bag packed the night before, and the process has always been in place. And I was not going to be running around like a headless chicken because he chose to forget. And you might think, you could have at least done it for him this one time. But for me, this one time was a good time for him to learn. For him to learn to be responsible for the things he considers important. And I can tell you that was the last time he forgot anything, well, that I know of. Sometimes the responsibility lesson is letting them experience the discomfort of being unprepared and then helping them figure out how to make sure it doesn't happen again. And no, this doesn't mean you're being mean or punishing your child. You're empowering them to be responsible for the things that matter. Responsibility grows when children learn to own the process, not just follow instructions. When children learn responsibility this way, they stop depending on you for reminders and they stop expecting you to manage their lives. They start learning to manage it themselves. Next week, we'll talk about hard work. Remember, this is strictly for strict parents, where we keep the values, but upgrade the method. Think about it, and you can maybe thank me later.